4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision's The Week That Was, covering the news and events for the week ending Friday, October 16th, 2020. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Troy University's homecoming is next week, and a big part of the activities is the selection of a homecoming queen and court. The election is coordinated by the Student Government Association, and at this week's SGA meeting, there were concerns presented to the Senate over the diversity of this year's court. Zeta Ingram gives us the details.
Last night in Hawkins Hall, 2 Troy University students addressed the Student Government Association concerning minority representation on this year's homecoming court.
Well, I was nominated for homecoming court, and I looked at the list, and at first I didn't even notice anything. I wasn't too worried about it, and then I went back to the list and I noticed that everybody on the court, or 14 out of 15 of the girls, were in Panhellenic sororities, and then another 14 out of the 15 girls were white women. And not to discredit any of those women at all, I think they all deserve it, but like I said, I do think there's more room for representation.
Elston added that she believes attending an immensely diverse university should be displayed within the court, considerably after taking student body ratios into account.
There was some holes in the system as far as the selection process for senior and junior court. I believe that at a 70% independent university that prides itself on being diverse, there's definitely more room for representation within the court.
With homecoming week starting this weekend, change is unattainable this year, but there is further conversation about future changes to the court selection process.
I think that there will be improvements made to this so that it can be a more fair and just and equal system in the best way. We really just want it to be something that's not too stressful on the girls that are running for it. It's simple, but it's also efficient and equal.
J. John added that the amendment under the homecoming section's code of laws were not completely followed, and the committee would meet subsequent to the SGA meeting to discuss possible changes to the election process. Zeta Ingram, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Troy University's historically African-American fraternities and sororities will soon have a place to call their own. The National Panhellenic Council says a project is underway to construct a $160,000 NPHC plaza. Brady Talbert has more on what we can expect.
If everything goes as planned, this empty lot of cement and brick will soon be the new NPHC Fraternity and Sorority Plaza. The spot that sits between Veterans Memorial Stadium and Trojan Arena could soon be a place for NPHC members to call their own.
We currently do not have any houses or any type of structures on our campus that we have, that our NPHC fraternities and sororities have, so the plaza was a set of identities that would allow people to know that what organizations we have on our campus, what organizations we have had on our campus.
The plaza will feature 9 columns with information on each fraternity and sorority. Williams says students will be able to host activities on the NPHC plot.
During graduations, students will probably more than likely go and gather there besides their stone and their plot to do any type of rituals they may have for their organization. Also, students will just go and you may find people there. Once they cross new members, they may go to their plot or their area and sing at their plot.
The project comes with a $160,000 price tag.
We had a great start of on the project. We raised $17,000 on Giving Day last Wednesday. And so we're continuing to hope to continue to build up to that.
Those interested in making a donation can visit troy.edu/MPHC and scroll down until you see the Plaza project. You can read more about the plan going forward, then donate. Brady Talbert, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We are less than a month away from the presidential election, and for many college students, this will be their first opportunity to cast a vote in a presidential election. On Tuesday afternoon, a pair of student groups got together to help make sure students were registered in time to participate. Kenrietta Stinson has the story.
Are you registered to vote? If not, time is running out. And on Tuesday, the Miss Elite Society and 101 Elite Men partnered in a voter registration drive, allowing students the opportunity to get registered before the November election. The groups wanted to help give students the chance to exercise their right to vote.
Just having the right to exercise our vote to to prove everyone that our vote matters and our vote count on this quad is just thrilling and amazing, and I'm glad to be a part of history.
The significance of holding a drive in an area of campus named after a man responsible for changes in voting rights was not lost on the students participating.
We're hosting our voter registration table today on the John Lewis quad, and me personally, I am so grateful and so honored to be here, just to be able to cherish in the name change of a proud black man who's made such a difference in this small town, and not only this town, but just in the world overall.
I would say that it's very significant because John Lewis is one of the greatest civil rights activists of his time from Troy, Alabama. And it is also very important for us to get out and vote because him and a whole lot of other great civil rights leaders, they fought for this, and this is what they worked hard for. So why not, admire that and get out and vote?
Students firmly believe that we must go to the polls and vote to make a difference.
Being a registered voter is very important because if you want to see change in your community, you should go out there and vote. Because I feel like if you don't vote, you're hurting others and you're silencing yourself from not being able to vote.
Both organizations will be back on John Lewis Quad this Thursday for students who have not yet registered. Kenrietta, Stinson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We'll take a short break, but when we return, we'll see how the world of Alice in Wonderland took shape on the walls of Troy's International Arts Center. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Troy's International Arts Center has just added a new exhibit featuring pieces inspired by Lewis Carroll's famous novel, Alice in Wonderland. Troy native Noel Hollis is the artist responsible for the whimsical pieces, and Seth Feiner shows us how he was inspired by the world of Wonderland.
The newest addition at the International Arts Center is the Alice in Wonderland exhibit from the Noel Museum. Fred Noel Hollis was raised in Troy and created these works of art from 1977 through 1979 in what is being called some of his most prominent pieces. Noel, dressed in a red robe and bow to symbolize the Queen of Hearts, says he drew great inspiration from the classic Lewis Carroll novel.
Why don't you do Alice in Wonderland? And I said, well, and he gave me the book. I read it and fell in love. And so I traveled for the next 3 years all around the world, finding people that matched the personalities of these characters. And that's how Alice was born.
First Lady of Troy University, Janice Hawkins, expresses her gratitude on behalf of Troy University to Noel.
Noel filled it for us for our opening and has since then just made so many contributions. And having this show, because even though you may not understand it and may not, like me, understand all the meanings that he intends for us to understand, I know how significant it is because it is his most significant prized work.
According to Noel, his art could have a variety of interpretations and all could be valid.
Whatever you can get out of the show, get it. And if you think it might be edgy, it is. And if you think it's spiritual, it is. And if you think it's outlandish, it is. And if you think it's simple, it is.
October is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and Trojan Outreach is trying to bring awareness to the subject through a display on the first floor of the Trojan Center. Jessica Phillips shows us what the display is all about.
is National Domestic Violence Month, and to show their support and share awareness about the reality of violence in society, Trojan Outreach has made a display called the Clothesline Project.
Clothesline Project is an initiative that looks to bring awareness not only to domestic violence, but interpersonal violence within relationships, and that can be with your roommate, with a sibling, or with a loved one. So we have shirts out that survivors themselves have made, as well as organizations and stuff like that, to show their support.
Trojan Outreach main goal for the Clothesline Project is to reach students to show them this happens closer than they think.
What we really hope is that students will see this and understand that this is an issue that's not just in the movies, not just in the books. Like, this is something that happens to students here on campus behind closed doors, and not a lot of people know that.
Along with the Clothesline Project, Trojan Outreach will be presenting activities all month to honor domestic violence.
This month, we're really focusing on interpersonal violence still, so we will be chalking the quad here on campus. And we also are doing a social media campaign called These Hands Don't Hurt, which asks students to pledge themselves to make sure that they're not a part of interpersonal violence.
Jessica Phillips, Troy, TrojanVision News.
This Saturday, Troy University will welcome high school seniors to campus for the annual Fall Trojan Day. The day gives prospective students a chance to see the campus, but this year we'll see some changes due to COVID-19. Miles Campbell has the details.
Troy University will hold its Fall Trojan Day on Saturday. In the world of COVID-19, there will be some changes, but essentially, admission says it will be similar to preview days in the past, with an opportunity to get their first taste of the Troy campus.
Trojan Day is our fall and spring preview day where we host for prospective students and their families. So this Saturday we'll be able to welcome a lot of high school seniors, their parents and families to campus to be able to get an in-depth admissions presentation about scholarships, housing, admission requirements, things like that. They'll also get kind of a hotspot and modified tour of campus where they'll be able to see some of our dorms, academic buildings, our new rec center, dining halls, different student centers on campus. And then they'll be able to attend a browse session with our academic departments and student organizations to learn a lot more about the opportunities that Troy has to offer.
Among the COVID-related changes will be contactless registration, required masks for all guests, and a slightly modified tour process on Saturday.
Instead of the typical large-scale tours, we're going to have hotspot tours with our Trojan ambassadors, and they'll kind of be able to view the campus at their own pace and keep the groups moving a little bit better. And we'll also be staying outside of most of the buildings as well and have our browse session on the quad, outdoors, away from the Trojan Arena where it's been before, to allow for more social distancing between the guests, the students, as well as organizations, the academic departments.
Cole says that even though COVID-19 caused some issues with planning, admissions is excited to be able to bring possible new students to campus.
It has it's certainly been different. We usually start planning this in the summer. With so much uncertainty at that time, we were kind of forced to kind of consolidate a lot of our planning in a sense. But we are really excited about Trojan Day, implementing kind of the new structure and everything. In a way, with fewer students and parents coming to visit campus, it has been good for us because it allows for more time for us to interact with them kind of more on a one-on-one basis.
One big change of Trojan Day this year will be that visiting students will not get to attend Saturday's football game like in years past. Miles Campbell, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll learn how some dares made to fraternity brothers is helping wounded veterans. That's coming up right after this, so I dare you to stay tuned.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands? My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did. It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on the sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that. Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
Every spring break, the Brothers of Alpha Tau Omega fraternity raise money to support wounded veterans by performing the daring task of walking 128 miles to Panama City Beach. But this week, dares were on the minds of brothers as they were raising money for their walk hard efforts. Stuart Bradley shows us how.
Dare, a verb meaning to challenge someone to do something. And on Wednesday, the Brothers of Alpha Tau Omega accepted a variety of dares for #DareTall, a fundraising event aimed to help raise money for their philanthropy, Walk Hard.
This was kind of an event that we wanted to kind of change up the narrative on how we raise money, and this was just going to be a more interactive way for some of our guys to be able to interact with people who are on our campus. You were able to submit a dare on our page to a brother for $2 for a picture, $5 for a video, and then we would execute that dare on the 14th.
Students had a month and a half to submit dares, and submissions closed this week. Some examples of dares have been TikTok dances, wearing mismatched shoes to class, and even hopping across the quad in honor of Bugs Bunny, who is an official member of ATO.
So far, some of the more mild ones have been, eat a pie with no hands. Someone had a bucket of ice water dumped on them. We've had people wearing mismatched shoes. I had to wear a Peter Pan hat to class today. So they've been kind of like a broad range. There's been a lot of stuff happening on the quad as well. So that's just a couple specific examples.
This marks the first year ATO has done this event, and according to Marvin, the fraternity wanted an event that was interactive while still being able to practice social distancing.
Social media was a really big driving force for how we created this event. It was socially distant. It was a way that we could involve our community, involve our campus, and really still do something fun and something that felt personal that you could kind of do with people that you're friends with.
Every single DareTall video will be available for viewing on ATO's Instagram page @ATO Troy. And while submissions for DareTall may be closed, I managed to dare brother Brady Talbert to help me finish this story.
Brady Talbert, Stuart Bradley, Troy, TrojanVision News.
World Arthritis Day was earlier this week, and as a way to help bring awareness to the disorder, the Sisters of Alpha Omicron Pi sorority were on campus this week selling stickers to help raise money for the Arthritis Foundation. Claudia Peppenhorst has the story.
As the semester continues on, so does the Greek Life Philanthropy Weeks. This week, Alpha Omicron Pi sorority is hosting their Philanthropy Week with several different activities around campus to raise money for their sorority's chosen organization.
So our philanthropy is the Arthritis Foundation, and every semester we have a week that is our Philanthropy Week, and we have events every single day that raise money for the Arthritis Foundation. Every semester we normally have a goal of like $3,000 to $5,000, so we're not having a big event this semester just because of Corona. So our goal for this semester to raise money is $3,000.
And while this semester looks a little different when it comes to fundraising, AOPI is still putting their best foot forward to reach their fundraising goal by hosting a few different events.
So today we're selling stickers that have been made by a sister. Her name is Kinsley, and she owns this little side business called Kins & Co. And so she made these stickers and we're selling them for raising money for the Arthritis Foundation. Because of Corona, we haven't been able to have a big event. So instead of having like a main event, we normally do like a kickball tournament or some kind of athletic event where sororities and fraternities can put in teams to play. So this semester we haven't done that. We just have little events like Spirit Nights and smaller where there's not like a lot of people at one place at one time.
If you would like to keep up with their remaining fundraising activities throughout the week, you can follow @AOPITroy on Instagram.
After over a month of waiting for the first home game of the season, Trojan football returned to Veterans Memorial Stadium in a big way last Saturday. Jessica Phillips has the highlights.
The Trojans came out on top Saturday as they dominated the Bobcats for a 37-17 victory in the Vet. With heavy rain throughout the game, sophomore quarterback Gunnar Watson was still able to complete 33 of 46 passes. In the first quarter, after the Bobcats settled for a field goal with 2 minutes to go, Watson throws a 30-yard pass to receiver Reggie Todd for a touchdown.
Hats off to the O-line. I thought the O-line was really good tonight in pass protection, and the running backs are included in that. I'm not sure up front about the running game. I know we ran for 100, but at times we sputtered a little bit there, so I have to look at the film. But as a unit, I thought we didn't have a lot of negative plays. We kept them off Gunner, which I thought was good.
Coming into the second quarter, Watson throws down the middle to Todd for 19 yards and a Trojan touchdown. Texas State Jamari Cherie returns the kick for the Bobcats, but gets stopped by cornerback Terrence Dunlap and only picked up 12 yards. Receiver Kalen Geiger makes a clutch play in a 4th and 8 for the Trojans when Watson throws him a deep 38-yard pass for a touchdown to up the lead to 20-3.
We wanted to be aggressive. I mean, I think you saw that. We went for it on 4th down a couple times, I think, and had a couple special plays that we were excited to snap. They don't always all work, but you know, it's something that our players enjoy practicing. I think it shows an aggressive mentality. That's kind of who we are. Our mantra: we want to be Trojan tough and physical, and our guys get excited to go for it. You know, if you ask the players, they always want to go for it. So if you don't want to know, don't ask them.
Coming into the second half, Texas State tries to build off a touchdown by Blake Aragon, but that quickly comes to an end when Troy defensive end John Hines recovered the Bobcats' fumble, putting the Trojans at the 49-yard line. The Trojans continued to build momentum in the second half when Watson completes a slant pass to Trey Efert for an 11-yard touchdown, bringing the score to 30-10. In the fourth quarter, the rain starts picking back up, but that doesn't stop running back B.J. Smith as he rushes to the left for a 2-yard pickup and a touchdown for the Trojans.
It's time for our last break. When we return, we'll learn about how Alpha Tau Omega is raising money for its Walk Hard effort. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
For over 70 years, Smokey Bear has asked you to use fire responsibly.
Fire is due to an unattended campfire. Go time.
Here's how you can stay on the front lines of preventing wildfires. Always watch your campfire. Before leaving, drown it, stir it, drown it again, and feel that the fire is out cold.
Oh, bullseye!
And you won't need a visit from these guys.
Copy that.
You can be Smokey's wingman when enjoying nature and prevent wildfires. Visit SmokeyBear.com for more fire prevention tips.
As we learned earlier, Alpha Tau Omega has kicked off fundraising efforts for this year's Walk Hard event. We'll learn more about what all they're doing in this week's Trojan Talk. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. With me today is Josh Marvin, Alpha Tau Omega here at Troy University, here to talk about Walk Hard. Thanks for joining me here today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
And Walk Hard is a fundraiser that has gained notoriety and fame here on campus and even across the country. Some of the media coverage that you've gotten over the years as a fundraiser that happens during spring break, but we're in the fall semester right now, so talk a little about why we're talking to you right now about Walk Hard.
Well, I definitely think that the cause that we're raising money for definitely deserves a large sum of money that we're kind of used to. In the past, we've seen $60,000, $70,000, and that's not something that definitely happens over a night. So we're definitely, trying to make sure that our fall, we are really just in high gear and really being intentional about our fundraising and stuff so that we can really, by the time we walk into the pier, have a really awesome number to show for.
And starting the fundraising efforts for an event that, for the uninitiated, let's tell them a little about it right now. So this is an opportunity and something that a lot of college students probably wouldn't take on. It's not unusual for a college student to head to Panama City Beach for spring break, but you guys picked probably the most interesting way to do it possible. Tell us what y'all do.
Yeah, so Walk Hard is a 128.3 mile walk. We start at the Troy University John Lewis Quad, and we walk all the way down to Pier Park in Panama City Beach. It takes us 6 days to get there, and along the way, we are stopping at churches, and people are hosting us so that we can really wake up refreshed the next day, offering food, offering all sorts of supplies to help that walk be a little bit easier, because it's a grueling experience, I guess is the easiest way to put it. But yeah, it's something we do over spring break every year to raise awareness and to raise funds for Jeep Sullivan's Outdoor Adventures.
And Jeep Sullivan's Outdoor Adventures gives opportunities for veterans, especially wounded veterans, to experience outdoor activities in a way that they may not get to otherwise. And I know one of the things about the walk is the chance that the brothers get to interact with some of those that are directly affected.
Right.
And I know when it gets grueling, gets hard, you're day 4, day 5, that's got to be something that brings a light in your eye and shows why you're doing this.
Yeah, 100%. Every single night we have a different veteran come and share his experience about either in combat or when he's been at home, like what has his experience been, what has he seen, what has he gone through, and more importantly, I think the best part of that is what has Jeep done to help that. We've seen a lot of testimonies that have really just inspired us. Right now, a statistic is 22 veteran suicides every single day. So when we have Jeep coming in, he talks to these veterans, and these veterans come to relay their experience to us about how he has really brought them out of really dark places. That's just inspiration to get up the next day, put those shoes on, whatever it is to get to that next checkpoint. So it means a lot.
And of course, we talk about this happens during spring break, and it's the 6 days over spring break. And what was interesting this past year was literally walk hard was the last thing to happen at Troy University before the shutdown. Y'all hit the beach, and then they called things off for the spring semester. So you got to win it. You got to get it in, but still things went crazy. We're in a time of COVID. So I would think that's probably a little bit more why y'all are trying to get the ball rolling a little bit sooner this year, because you have some lofty goals most years, and you've hit those goals every year. It seems like you keep increasing it, but that's part of the reason why I assume y'all are starting a little bit sooner this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that nothing is given, and so even spring break being as far away as it is, we really want to make sure that we're doing taking the strides we need to raise funds ahead of time. So, where we more likely would have started around mid-October or so with our fundraising, we pushed that to early September, mid-September. It's when we're planting our feet and getting ready for Walk Hard 2021.
And of course, the big fundraising usually happens right there at the walk. People are sponsoring you, getting in there, and you get the corporate sponsors in. But this is where you can start we're just starting the ball rolling. Folks can start giving a little bit and participating in activities. I know there's a lot of fun activities that you do between now and then. I know October, Talbert, as y'all put it. A lot of activities, including one that's always a great event, steaks for soldiers, and an opportunity for students to eat a meal, a good steak, and be able to help out this cause. But once again, it's more than just the walk itself. It's the opportunity for the brothers to raise money. And if somebody wants to help out, what can they do? If they want to start donating, if they want to take part, what can they do?
Yeah, I think that there's steps that you can take the whole entire process of getting ready for Walk Hard. Something really small as we do, raffle tickets. A raffle ticket is $2 right now. They're being sold throughout the week. Just to win a Yeti cooler in the spring, we'll have kind of an amplified raffle opportunity. But right now, Steaks for Soldiers, that's our big flagship event for the fall. I think in the past it's been Wing for Warriors, but as the event's growing, we're trying to grow with it. And so Steaks for Soldiers is the new one, something that we did last year for the first time as a big hit. For $10, it's just a steak sandwich, fries, and a drink. We'll have live music, a banner competition, the whole 9 yards, trying to entertain. So we've raised a lot of money from that in the past, so we're going to keep plugging with it now, and that's just a really tangible way for right now.
And of course, outside of that, donations, our website, all that, is that up and running? Can folks try to start looking at that and start giving the money if they want to?
Absolutely. We have our crowd change. It is live. It's active. The best way to find that link is going to be in our Instagram bio at ATO Troy on Instagram. You can click that bio, get on our crowd change. We've already started raising money. We're about 6,000 right now, just within that first week and a half or so. So that's a really big achievement. But throughout Christmas and as we near the walk in 2021, that's the best place to go and make donations. We have a Facebook page where that link is readily available. We post that link a lot. So that's definitely something they can use to get plugged into the crowd change.
Of course, do you know the roster for this year? Do you know how many brothers are going? How many of y'all going?
We have 36 walkers this year. It's the biggest we've ever had. So we're really excited to see how many people we can get to the beach. I'm banking on 36, so that's the dream.
Don't leave anyone behind.
Absolutely not.
You don't have somebody on the side of the road between here and there. So.
Couldn't imagine it, no.
But of course, great opportunity. Hope everything goes as planned. Everything nowadays is kind of up in the air regardless, but I applaud your efforts, you all, to try to get things started as early as possible to get this. And of course, now have y'all set y'all's goal yet? Do you know what you're going to raise for?
The goal's under wraps right now.
It's under wraps
to
right
be
now?
determined, but I mean, it can be expected to be the same as it would be in a non-COVID environment. We're shooting for the stars.
All right. Well, and I know that number has gotten up every year, and you've hit that number, you've hit that mark, and it's been a big number every year. Good luck on this year's walk and all the fundraising leading up to it. Thanks for joining us.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's the week that was. To find out what's happening on a daily basis, you can tune into Troy Trojan Vision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30 Monday through Friday, or follow us on Twitter at Troy TV News. Also, feel free to like our Troy Trojan Vision News fan page on Facebook to see online content from Troy Trojan Vision News. Until next time, have a good week.